Okay, science. So mathematics also comes under science. Do you agree with that? Now you have studied grade 6, grade 7 and grade 8, right? So you are in grade 9 currently. So what do you understand by science? What do you understand by science? Can you tell me a definition for science? You have studied science for 3 years. So out of the 3 years, you have gained some knowledge, right? So out of the knowledge you have gained so far, can you tell me a definition for science? So science is the knowledge about the structure and behavior of the natural and physical world. Okay. So in science we have three main subjects, main components. What are they? Biology. Biology. The second one. Biology. The second one is what? Physics and chemistry. Okay, right? So in your science book you may have biology units, physics units as well as chemistry units, right? You don't need to be afraid of me. I'm not going to scold you if your answer is wrong. When I'm asking question, you can freely interact, you can freely talk. Okay, so in science we are going to study biological units, physics units as well as chemistry units. Now tell me, what do you understand by biology? So do you have your grade 9 textbook in your hands? In your hands, do you have your grade 9 textbook? It's a simple question I am asking. The answer is yes or no. If you don't tell the answer, there is no use of conducting this class because I expect you to speak. I can't always check your chat. Okay. Now you have your grade 9 book, right? So can you tell me the first unit of the name of the first unit? Applications of microorganisms. That is the first unit in your grade 9 science, right? So biology is, what is biology? What do you understand by biology? Biology is the study about life, animals and plants. Okay. So in biology we have two main portions. One is zoology and botany. Have you heard these terms? My name is Iklas, okay, and I am from Sayantamaradu, Ampara district, and I am a sophomore at the State University. I am currently pursuing my Bachelor of Science degree at Southeastern University of Sri Lanka. Okay, so this is what my introduction. Now, right now, tell me. So you have come to study here. So you are in grade 9. What is your ambition? Okay, if you are reluctant to talk today, you can just type. Okay. Right. Now tell me, what is your ambition? You have to have a goal in your life because we are studying for a purpose. So after studying, what would you like to become? If you want to become a doctor, you have to be brave, right? Because courage is very important to become a doctor. You have to deal with dead bodies. If you cry in the operation theatre, how can you do operations? Huh? You have to think, right? You are brave girl. So, okay, your ambition is to become a doctor. So, for becoming a doctor, what stream you should select in your advanced level? So, after 3 years, you should select your field, your stream, right? So, for becoming a doctor, you need to study biological science stream, right? In biological science stream, you need to study this biology, physics and chemistry. Along with that, mathematics plus mathematics. Mathematics knowledge is also very important to study biological science in order to achieve your ambition. Okay? So you have to fix that in your mind. Okay? Now tell me, mathematics is also a science, right? So mathematics is also coming under science. Okay. Now biology is the study about life, animals and plants. Okay. Again, what is physics? Physics is the study about forces and energy. We are going to deal with forces. Okay. If you might have heard force and energy. Okay, force and energy. We are going to study about force and energy in physics. And what is chemistry? What is chemistry? We are going to study about matter. Right? So we are going to study about matter in chemistry. Now tell me, what is matter? What is the definition of matter? If you are not able to speak now, you can just type the definition of matter. You can just type, check. What do you understand by matter? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Now, chemistry is the study about matter. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. So this is the basic definition of matter. Now tell me, what is mathematics? What is mathematics? Mathematics is a science. It is also a science about numbers and symbols. Okay? Symbols. Right? So, mathematics is also a science. I already told you. Mathematics is also a science. Right? So, it's the science of numbers and symbols. For example, if you add 2 plus 2, it's a science of numbers. If you add x plus y, these are symbols. We are going to study these things in mathematics. Okay? Right. Now, why I told you to speak you is I wanted to measure your level in English. Okay? Because you are studying these things in your second language. So, probably your mother tongue would be Tamil. Now you are studying these things in English. Now, do you have your dictionary with you? Dictionary. So when you come to my classes, it is compulsory to have your dictionary along with you. Right? That is one of my rules. I am telling this in the first class itself. So without dictionary, you should not attend my classes. Okay? Right? Okay. Now let me share the screen. So this is the first unit, right? Application of microorganisms. Now applications means what? Usages of microorganisms. What do you understand by microorganisms? What is microorganisms? What are microorganisms? I have already told you, whenever I ask question, you have to respond. Now, since it is the first class, you are unable to speak. So, you have to type and send me the answer. What do you understand by microorganisms? You have studied grade 6, grade 7, grade 8. So, why your parents send you to individual classes? Why? They might have sent you to a group class. So, in individual class, you have plenty of opportunity to ask your questions and study more. Okay, so you have to utilize it. If you are unable to speak, okay, I give you an excuse. In today's class, you can chat. What do you understand by microorganisms? First tell me, have you heard this term, microorganism? Microorganism. Let me stop share. You have your book, right? So I don't want to share my screen. I can directly. Okay. Right. Microorganisms. The first unit. The title of the first unit is Applications applications of microorganisms. Okay. Applications, you know how it is applied in our day-to-day life. For example, uses, right? We can say uses. What is microorganisms? So this word microorganism is composed of micro and organisms. Okay. Now tell me, micro means what? Small, tiny, small. Organisms means what? Organisms means living things. Living things. Okay. So if you are asked to write the definition for microorganisms in your examination, you have to write small organisms, small living things that can be seen under a microscope. We can't observe microorganisms using our bare eyes or naked eyes. Okay, they are very small. They are very small living things, right? That you can see only under microscope. Without the help of microscope, you can't observe microorganisms. Okay, did you get the point? Did you get the point? Have you understood? Have you understood the definition of microorganism? Just tell me. Because if you don't understand anything, I can't move forward. Just tell me, yes or no. I didn't receive any chat from you. Okay, very good. Right. Now, under the content, you can say it is the unit 1, right? 1.1, we have to study what are microorganisms. What are microorganisms? After that, we have to study environments and substrates of microorganisms. So, do you understand what substrates are? What is the meaning of substrate? What is substrate? Have you heard this term? Have you heard this term? Tell me first. Yes or no? Have you heard this term substrate? Have you heard this term substrate? No. You don't know what the meaning of substrate is. So, it is a new word. That's why I told you, I recommended you to keep your dictionary along with you. Right? So, do you have your dictionary with you now? Do you have your dictionary? Yes. Can you turn the pages of your dictionary and find the meaning of substrate? So, what kind of dictionary you have? What kind of dictionary? Is that English to Tamil dictionary or English to English dictionary, Oxford dictionary? What is the name of the dictionary you are using? Substrate. Substrate means a surface. What is that? A surface on which a living thing grows and feeds. Right? Now this is the meaning of substrate. A surface on which a living thing grows and feeds. Right? Did you understand the meaning now? Did you understand the meaning now? Substrate. This is a new word for you. But in the content, they have used this term, substrate. So in your examination you might come across this term. Right? If you don't understand the meaning of this word, how can you answer the question asked in the examination? So that's why I always recommend my students to speak. If they don't know a word, they can interrupt me while I am explaining and ask any doubt. Okay, any doubt. I always prefer interrupting. If you keep yourself unmuted, I am not interested in that teaching. Okay? Do you understand? You don't need to be afraid of me. You can friendly approach me. Okay? You can think I am not a teacher. I am also a student, right? You can just ask your dog, right? So substrate means a surface on which a living thing grows and feeds. Okay, now tell me one example for substrate. One example. One example. Now I have written the meaning of the word substrate. Now I am asking an example for substrate. A simple example. You can give me a simple example. I am waiting for your answer. If you don't know an answer, you can't keep yourself muted. You have to just tell I don't know or something like that. If you don't know, you can directly tell I don't know. But if you keep silent, I can't expect anything. I can't predict anything. Whether you understood, whether you know, whether you don't know. How can I guess? You have to cooperate. Then only I can teach you to my extent, to my maximum. You don't know, right? Now, a perfect example for substrate is our earth. Why? Example, earth. On our earth, we live, plants grow, animals live. So, the earth provides a platform for living things to grow and feed. Right? So, plants absorb water and minerals from earth, from the soil. So, it is a perfect example for substrate. Okay? Right. Now 1.3. Are you looking at the book? Simultaneously, you have to look at the book as well. Now, effects of microorganisms. Effects of microorganisms. Right, very good. Effects of microorganisms. So, these are the subtopics we are going to look at in this unit. It has only 4 pages. If you cooperate me, we can finish this syllabus as much as possible, and we can practice some example questions or term paper questions. Okay. What I am telling you is your cooperation is very much important to finish our syllabus as much as quickly. Okay. Now, right. You can take the first unit. First unit in the sense page number 1. Page number 1. Right. I always ask my students to read louder what is typed in the book, but you are not going to do that. Right. Now microorganisms. Right. Microorganisms, they live in our environment as well as in our body. Right. Microorganisms. So our body is also a substrate. Why? Because microorganisms live in our body. They grow and they feed themselves from our body. So our body is also a substrate. Body. Human body. Right? For example, not only human body, human, animals, etc. So human body, animal's body is also a substrate. Okay? You got the point? Right. Now, so we have already told that microorganisms lives in our body. So if something is living in our body, they might cause some harmness and favors. So microorganisms, we have favorable microorganisms as well as harmful microorganisms. Right? That's what they are telling. Most microorganisms are favorable to humans and other living beings. Not only in our body, in animals' body also, microorganisms live. So they can give benefits to our body as well as harmness. Okay, harm. Right. Now, microorganisms are a widespread and common species category of living organisms on Earth. They are group of living organisms with a simple structure. They grow fast and have high rate of reproduction. So these are the properties of microorganisms. Right? So you have to take your own notes. Okay? I am not going to dictate my notes. So if you want, you have to write these things down, and if you want, you can ask me. I will move and you can take a screenshot. Okay, and you have to create your own short notes for your reference. Okay, you got the point? Are you taking notes or you are just listening to my explanation? Are you taking notes? Yes, good, very good. So they have, now tell me, can you list the properties of microorganisms that has been mentioned in your textbook? Because the examiner is going to take question from your textbook. Right, now tell me, can you list out the properties of microorganisms? You can just put a heading, properties of microorganisms. Like that, right? Now tell me. The first one is, they are living groups of simple structures. Okay, this is the simple structure. Right? The second one is, they grow fast. They grow fast. Why? If you take you, right? So we human being and animals grow slowly. It means since we are given birth, after we have come out of our mother's womb, we grow slowly. Even in our mother's womb, we grow slowly. But unlike human and other organisms, other living things, these microorganisms grow faster. That is one of the characteristics of this microorganism. Right? And they grow faster. What is the third property? They have high rate of reproduction. They have high rate of reproduction. Right. What do you mean by reproduction? Producing offsprings. So normally human, we don't have high rate of reproduction, as well as other animals. Even we can give to one offspring. Human can one or twins, like that. But these microorganisms have high rate. They can produce thousands, millions of offsprings at one time. Okay, that is one of the characteristics of this microorganism. So you can write these things down. Do you want time to write this, or do you want to take a screenshot? Are you writing? Do you want time? See, yes. Rather than chatting, if you speak, it will be, more interactive, and the communication will be faster. You understand? Okay, it doesn't matter. From the next class, it should not happen. Okay. Microorganisms have the ability to adapt for different environmental conditions and modes of nutrition. These microorganisms can survive in extreme conditions as well. Okay, that is one of the another characteristic. So you can write like, they have the ability to adapt for different environmental conditions. They have the ability to adapt for different environmental conditions and modes of nutrition. Right? Can you see the bottom part of the whiteboard? Yes. Okay. Now this is another property of microorganisms. They have the ability to adapt for different environmental conditions. Even they can survive in extreme conditions. What what do I mean by extreme condition? Some strange condition. Even in hot temperature. Can we survive in hot temperature? Even if the temperature is more than 26, we say it's very hot. We can't live. But these organisms can live in extreme conditions as well. Okay, and different modes of nutrition, right? We eat some nutrition. For example, we eat food, but we will not eat dead animals, the body of dead animals we will not eat, but these organisms will. Okay? So they depend on different modes of nutrition as well. So these are the things. This is how you have to create your own notes. Okay, from the book you have the ability to extract information. How the examiner will ask you questions. Okay. Right. Now tell me, you wrote this point? Did you write this point? Do I need time? Yes. Right. Now, right. Here in microorganisms we have unicellular and multicellular. Okay, microorganisms we are going to categorize them. Unicellular and multicellular. Right? What do you mean by uni? Uni means do you know? I have already told you how to tell definition. So here I divided this term into two portions. One is micro and organisms. So micro means small and organisms means living things. Likewise, uni means we can divide this, right? Like unicellular, right? Multicellular. So uni means one. Uni means what? Single or one. Multi means more than one, right? So unicellular means microorganisms that have only one cell. Multicellular means microorganisms that have more than one cell. Okay? So these are the categorization of microorganisms. You can write it down. So you have to be very careful. Unicellular, multicellular, microorganisms. So this is how you have to remember the definition. You don't need to blindly mug up the definitions, right? You can just simply understand. So with your understanding, you can be able to create your definition by yourself. Okay? You can try. So these are the two major divisions of microorganisms. Now we are going to see the examples for microorganisms. Shall I erase everything on the board? Shall I erase everything on the board? Yes. Right. So microorganisms. So we have microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa. Virus is also microorganisms, but the problem is I am using what is that? Virus. It is also microorganisms, but they share the features of non-living things as well. Okay, so it comes under living thing and non-living thing. right? So virus share features of living things and non-living things. So we might include virus under microorganisms, but you have to remember virus share the properties or the features or the characteristics of non-living things. What are non-living things? Non-living things and living things. You should have studied the differences between living things and non-living things in your previous grades. Do you remember? Do you remember them? Have you studied living things and non-living things in your previous classes? Did you study? Did you study them? Or you forgot? Did you study or you forgot? You can tell me two answers, only two answers. I studied and I forgot, or I remember, or I didn't study. You have three options. What is your answer? Did you study the differences between living things and non-living things? If you don't know the differences living things and non-living things, we can't move forward. That's why I'm asking. If you didn't study, I want to teach them first. Okay, now tell me, did you study? You didn't study. Okay, living things mean, right? For example, for men, human, right? Animals and plants. Plants are also living things. Non-living things means what? For example, table, right? This marker. So, living things depict some properties. They grow, they reproduce, they eat. Okay, like that. But even plants, if you take plants, so you can directly tell human, yes, they breathe, they grow, like for example, they eat, something like that. Plants, do plants eat? Do plants eat? Do plants eat? Do plants grow? I think the differences between living things and non-living things are mentioned in grade 6 or 7. You should have studied, but the problem is you studied for only examination. That's why you forgot. You can't tell you didn't study. That is very lie. You are lying, right? You are telling lie. The problem is you studied only for writing the term examination, the particular term examination. That's why you forgot, right? But I want to tell you a story, right, about our brain. You know our brain? What is brain? Do you have brain? You have brain? Yes or no? Do you know brain? Brain, this one. You know brain? Yes, okay. Now, what is brain? It's a piece of meat, right? We eat cow's meat, cow's brain, goat's brain, but it's a piece of meat. But about the human brain, I want to tell you, right? It's a perfect worker. It's a perfect worker. It works according to the commandment. And the command is our intention. What I am telling, you can understand what I am telling, right? So this brain is a perfect worker and it works according to our intentions. Our intentions, the brain considers our intentions as its command. If you study, for example, you are in grade 9 in the first term. We are studying the first unit of grade 9, right? If your intention is to write the first term examination while you are studying, you will forget everything you studied once the examination is over. Okay, you got my point? Soon after you completed your first term examination, if you were intending to remember what you studied until your examination is finished, you will forget everything. But if you intend while you are studying, okay, my ambition is to become a doctor, so I will need these things throughout my life, so I need to remember until I die, your brain will remember forever. You understand? You understand? Okay. Now we have run out of time, so it's time for winding up. Before you go, call your parent. I want to talk to them.